Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So, in today's video, as we said in the last one, we've got our Mandalorian spoiler review for Chapter 9 or Season 2 Episode 1.
Yeah.
And obviously, spoiler warning, obviously this is spoiler review, so we're going to be talking about everything that happened in this episode.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I guess quick thing to say
opinions.
before we start. We've uploaded a separate review for the non-spoiler
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the episode, go and check that one out first, then watch the episode, and then you can come back to this video.
Yeah, but then also from next week, we thought since, I guess, it just makes sense that way. I don't know why we didn't think of this in the first place. We'll just do like one video, and at the start we'll just talk about our non-spoiler thoughts, and then after that we'll just go into spoilers and tell you when we're going to do that. That just makes more sense.
Yeah, so that's what will be happening from next week.
Yeah, because it just saves us
onwards,
time and saves you time. But
yeah, so this is the final chance to go off the video if you haven't seen the episode yet, but now we're going to start talking about the episode. So, Chapter 9, called the Marshal.
Yeah, that episode that we both loved, I think.
Yeah, like as we said in the non-spoiler reviews, it's an amazing episode.
Yeah.
But,
and
pretty obvious to tell by the name.
Yeah,
the name of
the Marshal. Yeah, if you're
a big character was coming.
Hardcore into Star Wars, and especially when we found out after Mando fed that Gorkerish guy to the those aliens. We don't know what those were. Actually, the creatures.
We don't know what those are. They weren't.
They kind of reminded those Bando Gora things from Bounty Hunter, but they obviously we knew that if you read the Star Wars books, you would have known when he said Mandalorian on Tatooine. You know that can't be Boba Fett because Boba Fett doesn't have his armor anymore. So it was Cobb Vanth, and obviously seeing Cobb Vanth in live action was sick for people who read the Aftermath books. If you guys like those. And the characters were, the way they did that character was really well, really good. They nailed him in my opinion. And they retconned.
I don't know how he's supposed to act, but
they retconned some things about his origin, but it was minute stuff. It wasn't anything big. But the character himself was great. Obviously, also even just returning to Tatooine, that was just sick to see for the first episode. And Peli was back. Who was in the 5th episode last season. And there's loads of references in this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot. We picked up on a few, the main two being R5.
Yeah, R5 was in Peli's place, yeah. And it's the same one from episode 4.
And then the Death Star.
Yeah, it's the same one from episode 4, because we could see, where his motivator explodes in episode 4. There's gunk around it there. Where he got messed up.
Yeah, and then she started complaining to him, saying that she goes, I got no one to complain to, and everyone's slow and stuff. So, and then we saw the Death Star blowing up in the flashback scene.
Yeah, and then also this whole episode was basically one big KOTOR reference. Knights of the Old Republic. For those of you who haven't played that game, go ahead and play it because it's great. But it was basically one big reference to that, where they fight a crate dragon and then kill it, and they get the pearl out, which I have a theory about, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, the stuff they Cobb Vanth was a great character in my opinion. I'm happy that they didn't let the child overshadow Mando. That was another thing I really liked about this episode.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing this episode. The child really although the story was he's trying to find another man. The story of the episode was he's trying to find another Mandalorian to guide him on his journey to find sort of the child's race or kind. So and then obviously the guy, what's the guy's name? The one who got hung from a lamppost.
John Leguizamo's Cyclops-looking guy. Gore Kerrick.
Yeah, he obviously said it was sort of this underground sort of leader sort of thing.
Yeah, but they were with the Gamorreans were he's fighting there.
Yeah, with the Gamorrean fighters, which we saw at the start, and then he was there's one on Tatooine. Obviously, Mando said, I've been on Tatooine, didn't see any, and then he goes, my sources are good. Went there and found Cobb Vanth,
yeah. The way they did his origin, with the way they flashed back to it, I thought that was really cool as well. And then obviously all the stuff with the crate dragon where they were fighting it, and the scale of it was really good, because to think all of that was filmed inside the volume, the digital soundstage thing where they had the LCD or LED screen.
Oh yeah.
To think that it was filmed on that's pretty sick.
I mean, the episode. This episode was very visually pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think from the start of the episode, when Mando goes into that bar sort of thing, and Cobb Vanth obviously comes in. I think a part that I really liked is when he said something along the lines of only one of us is leaving this place then, and they both like have their hands
like
on
a
their
standoff,
holsters
yeah.
to pull out their
it's
guns.
like a western.
Yeah, that standoff, that western standoff sort of scene was, I really liked that. And then obviously another really good part is when they fight the Krayt Dragon with the explosions and them flying was, I think,
that
my
looks,
favorite
it
part
looks sick, because that was when I was saying in the non-spoiler review that there's parts that reminded me of Iron Man. That was one of them, because it looked like Iron Man the way it was shot when they were like flying up towards that place where they land and start shooting it.
I think that sealed it for me. It was my favorite episode when they started flying. That was so good to see. And then it because obviously he's wearing Boba Fett's armor. It looks like Boba Fett's flying next to Mando as well.
Yeah, but obviously like all the under armor, like the under kind of the jumpsuit was different.
Yeah,
so
the
like
under
guy.
He obviously, when you see him at the start, it doesn't look like Boba Fett. So because Boba Fett's more like Mando, where he's like kind of shorter and stocky. Where Cobb Vanth is more like
taller and like kind of
sort
skinnier,
lanky and skinny. Yeah, so it was clear to see that it wasn't really him.
It was sick to see Cobb Vanth's speeder bike, I put in quotation marks, which was a pod racer engine. That was pretty sick as well to see. Like it looked like Anakin's pod racer. And they had
there's a lot of
there was a lot of references.
to...
And I think Peli had it looked like she had a pod racing engine in the background, like in her little workshop place. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah, the episode itself was just great. It was really fun. It was 54 minutes, but it didn't feel like it because like they didn't really drag out any of the stuff with.
It really it was so smooth.
Yeah,
I watched it twice. Obviously, I watched it yesterday.
I watched it 2 times
today.
Yesterday. I watched it once yesterday.
I didn't get bored, and it all just flows. The whole episode just flows really nicely.
And
There's no parts of the episode where you think, this is out of the ordinary.
The way they develop the characters was smooth and kind of fit into the plot as well, with Cobb Vanth, where it kind of gives us an insight into around the galaxy, what their reaction was to the end of the Empire and the end of the Galactic Civil War, and then how the mining colony came and took over the place and kind of screwed everyone up. And then obviously Cobb Vanth came and saved Mos Pelgo, which for those of you who have read the Aftermath books, is Freetown. They're the same place. That's where Mos Pelgo used to be. I think that's a thing in the Old Republic. And also it was a good introduction episode, I think, to get people back into the flow of things. On that, after the intro part where they show the logo and then they play the music and you see the Razor Crest flying in, it felt the Mandalorian's back. It was good to kind of have that feeling from the episode.
And although it was a starter episode, it doesn't feel like they did quite a lot in this episode.
Yeah, it's not inconsequential,
which you might not expect from a first episode.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like it was overdone at the same time.
Well. I didn't feel like they were trying to cram a bunch of just crap in to try and get it to to just say, here we go, we've got to feed the audience this information. It all was organically put together and it flowed really well.
Yeah, and no signs of the Empire this episode really, or the remains, Moff Gideon and
which was interesting because
no sign of them.
The Empire were in the first episode last season, and this season they're not here at all. But obviously the main thing that we all just loved was seeing Boba Fett at the end. Well, potentially Boba Fett. Yes, potentially Boba Fett, because obviously there's people who think it could be a clone.
Well, it is. I think it is Boba Fett. But a lot of people, not a surprising amount of people are saying that they think it's Captain Rex, which I don't think it is.
I think there's a possibility it could be, but I don't think it is.
There's just if that was to be Captain Rex or a random clone, that doesn't fit in with the episode.
Why not?
Because the whole reason that fits in with the episode is because Boba Fett's armor's there.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
it's such a big part of the episode. Boba Fett's armor is the whole reason that
they go Mando fight the Krayt Dragon.
Take down the Krayt Dragon. Yeah, because he wants the armor because
it's Mandalorian.
He says that it's the Mandalorian's rights to take the armor. If another Mandalorian doesn't own it.
Also, the reason I think it's Boba Fett, not Captain Rex, he's got no eyebrows and his face is all scarred up. I'm pretty sure that's probably what had happened to you if you were in stomach acid for God knows how long. And obviously we saw his armor was completely the color from it was just completely gone. And
plus the clothes that he's wearing.
Yeah,
You know the clothes that like this? I'm gonna call him Boba Fett.
Mm.
Boba Fett's wearing at the end is that it's like Tusken Raider clothes. Like Captain Rex or like a random clone wouldn't be wearing those clothes for any other
unless
reason.
he was like disguised.
We
or
know
something.
Boba Fett's lost his armor.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't
that's
know.
true. But yeah, it was good to see him obviously because he's he's one of my like favorite Star Wars characters, mainly because he's like so like mysterious and kind of. He does like important stuff, and if you think about it, in the original trilogy, overall he's the only villain who wins to a certain extent. Because like in Episode 4, Darth Vader and Tarkin both lose at the end. In Episode 5, Darth Vader loses because he doesn't get Luke. Boba Fett wins because he gets Han. Episode 6, the Emperor loses because Luke doesn't turn evil, and Darth Vader doesn't really lose, but he turns back to the light, doesn't he? So. If you think about it, in the original trilogy, from a certain point of view, Boba Fett...
Well, now that we know he's alive, I guess you can see it as that way.
Yeah.
If he died, I would say that he probably lost, but
yeah.
Now that he's alive, I guess you can see it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, should we talk about the aspect ratio thing? Because you had different opinions on it to me.
It wasn't really
that
different
was
opinion, it was just...
Part.
It was, I was fine with it. Like, I thought it looked good when they changed to the IMAX aspect ratio, but I kind of thought it was a bit weird when... Like, I don't think it was bad, it was just a bit like... Oh, okay. Like, when they showed it go from IMAX to 16:9 and the bars just kind of went down. That was a little...
I liked it. I don't know. I liked it.
I didn't think it was, like, bad. I just thought it was a bit weird. Like, why not just... You know, like how in The Dark Knight or something, like, where they just... Or how they even transitioned into it in this, where they just kind of cut to it and it's just a new aspect ratio. Just cut back and, like, cut to the next scene and it's just a small... Like, the 16:9 aspect ratio's back. But, it was cool to see, obviously, the use of IMAX aspect ratio, and they looked really nice. So I hope they do that in more episodes.
I think all the transitioning and the ratio and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This episode looked good as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope that
and it was shot like really well.
With all these, I hope there's consistency with all these positives throughout the season.
Yeah, same here.
They've set a very high standard from the first episode.
Yeah,
so
and I wasn't expecting to see Boba Fett in the first episode because I thought, like, from what we'd heard and seen from like. I don't know, like, I just
some people weren't even expecting to see him this season, never mind the first episode.
I had a feeling we'd see him this season, but I didn't think we'd see him yet, like, in the first episode. That's pretty, like, crazy. It's pretty sick, though. But,
I mean, I think with Boba Fett, I don't know if they'll carry it, like I said to you, I don't know if they'll carry, like, into the next episode. I don't think it's going to be focused around Boba Fett.
I don't know if it'll be focused around him, but they might, like, add stuff to the reveal of him, because I hope they don't do like kind of what some sequels do, like with Age of Ultron or like Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they just try and shove like loads of stuff in there, or even like BVS or something, where they like put loads of stuff in there and they don't develop any of it properly, so that it's kind of like there wasn't much point putting this all in there. You could have saved some of it for the next season or later in the show. I hope they don't do that.
I don't know. I feel like now that we've seen Boba Fett properly, and if they carry on to develop Boba Fett's like story like now, like if they do it strongly throughout the season, like say if he's like in there like quite a lot, so say in next episode he plays like a decent part, and then maybe by episode 4 or 5 we see him actually like talk to Mando and stuff, or like even fight with Mando. I feel like we'll see less of like the sort of Jedi who are meant to be in this show, like, or like other Mandalorians, like Sabine. I feel like we'll see less of Sabine and Ahsoka then.
It depends on how long the later episodes are and how much they want to put them in there. But it's good that they're kind of. I at first I was a bit apprehensive of them like bringing characters like Boba Fett back, or the characters from like the movies and the other shows, because it was kind of like it felt like its own original thing, but it flowed well. Like, I felt like it fit into the story, where how Mando like would come about Boba Fett, because obviously he's looking for more Mandalorians. So obviously technically, I mean, we don't know between Clone Wars and the original trilogy, like the end of it to now. We don't know if Boba Fett's like changed his mind or anything in terms of his beliefs on Mandalorians, but it'd be interesting. And also we might be able to find out if finally we'll be able to find out if Jango Fett is a real Mandalorian or not, because they've kind of been coy about that in past Star Wars media, which is interesting. So it's good that we're going to find out answers to some of this stuff.
I mean, bringing Boba Fett in could also link to like a lot of things. Like I was saying to you earlier, that he could, if him and Mando do like have a say civil confrontation instead of like a more violent one.
Mhm.
Because I feel like it could either go in two ways. If they do have a confrontation, it can go in like the way of like a fight
Mhm.
where Boba Fett just goes in violent, tries to take his armor back
Mhm.
without like trying to talk to him or anything.
Yeah.
Or they could have like they could actually talk like how Cobb Vanth did
Mhm.
and Mando did instead of like actually fighting.
Yeah.
But I was saying that if they did talk in like a civil way, I think Boba Fett could possibly mention Luke, maybe.
Maybe. I don't see where that would come up in conversation, but I don't know. They could do that because obviously he knows about Luke because of they even.
I don't even know because I feel like they could make it work because Mando, with every person that Mando interacts with, he basically just says, "Look, I'm helping this baby find his people," basically. And if he does have like a conversation with Boba Fett, he could say to him like, "This baby's like a Force user, or he can move things with his mind," and then Boba Fett could like probably look back and
maybe
say contribute.
And also,
to it,
Boba Fett was the one who told Darth Vader about Luke in between episode 4 and 5. So, like, he told him he's the one who blew up the Death Star. They revealed that in a comic, so that's pretty cool. But in terms of, like, theories and stuff based on this, that's kind of like, for me, like, based on this episode, I've got like a few theories. You know that, in season 1, in the 5th episode where Fennec Shan dies, that was like Ming-Na Wen's character, and then someone comes at the end. I'm thinking now maybe that's Boba Fett, 'cause he has a robe on, like a long flowing cape.
Yeah.
And that character had a cape as well. I mean, the bottom half didn't really look that much like Boba Fett, but you never know. Like, it could always be him. That's one of my theories, and the other one, I think maybe Mando might use that Krayt Dragon Pearl to get a lightsaber at the end of the season.
Oh yeah.
Because in KOTOR, that's how, like,
I mean, that could link to the the good relationship he's got with the
Tusken Raiders, yeah.
Because you know, in Star Wars so far, there's not a lot of people who've communicated with them in that way.
Yeah, because most of the time they're just monsters who they kill or get rid of in like some other way.
But Mando seems to like understand them from like a different side, I guess, and then he manages to like negotiate and stuff with them.
I'm thinking,
so I feel like if
go on.
If he really needed it, he could. I feel like if he really needed that the pearl, I feel like he could go back and like civilly talk to them and say, "Listen, I need like a piece of this pearl or something."
I'm thinking that maybe make thinking about making a video like on the pearl theory.
On the pearl theory. Okay, we won't go too much into it.
I'm thinking about doing that. So yeah, stay tuned for that, I guess.
Yeah, we can do that. So
but
basically.
Yeah.
With my theories, I don't think Boba Fett, I don't know, I think Boba Fett will get developed in this season, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be in like big ways where like the whole episode will revolve around like him.
Yeah, it'll probably cut back and forth between him and Mando.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a very gradual thing. I feel like that's a good way to do it. I feel like
it is because it's Mando's show. That's what I want. Because I want Mando to still be the main focus of the show. I don't want him to like cut away from him just to go to like random other stuff.
Also, one other theory that I've got is that I think Boba Fett will be civil with Mando if they do come into confrontation. Only because, not only because, because he's like a Mandalorian, and because like
it's kind of mutual respect there, between bounty hunters, I guess. Yeah, but then I don't know. I guess
Mandalorian can be bounty hunters, so like they're all like obviously Mando's a bounty hunter. Boba Fett was a bounty hunter, so they can like be violent when they want to, but the mutual respect that they have for each other is there. That's shown in episode 3 when the heavy Mandalorian and obviously Mando
start fighting and the armorer
sort
stops
of knife
them,
fight, and then the armorer stops them, and they say this is the way. I think that sort of
I
think that sort of respect can be shown.
It depends if Boba Fett actually follows Mandalorian principles, because you never know. Because
that's true.
With Jango Fett, they said in the Clone Wars that he's just a common bounty hunter who like stole Mandalorian armor, but we don't know that for sure because I think it was Almec who said that, who was like kind of a corrupt and not like trustworthy character. So we don't know. Hopefully we'll get answers to that. But that's really all I have to say in terms of like series and just in this episode in general. I thought it was great. Everything about it, pretty much. I loved like every second of it.
I mean, like we said in the non-spoiler review, it's a very solid episode, and Defo covers a lot of things, but doesn't force them at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content in there, but it's not like it doesn't
And
feel like
it doesn't feel like it's just crammed
like
full of stuff. It just all organically and naturally kind of flows and works like that.
And yeah, I think we'll just have to wait until next week's episode to see where it goes. I feel like next week's episode, he hasn't found a Mandalorian, obviously, because this Mandalorian turned out just to be like some sort of random person.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's going to be looking for another Mandalorian now.
Mm-hmm.
Could maybe see first signs of Sabine. Maybe,
yeah, we might
see about Mandalorian.
But who knows who we could see, to be honest, because I was expecting to see Boba Fett this early, so who knows what else they got planned for this season.
I mean, all we have to do is wait and see, but you can catch the next episode review for next week.
Yeah. Right
here on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and stay around for that.
And since we're doing the spoiler reviews only, well, like mixed between spoiler and non-spoiler, I guess we'll probably upload them on a Saturday now, or maybe a Friday if we can. We'll just try our best to get them out to you guys as soon as possible.
We'll probably definitely have it out by, I think the latest could be a Sunday night.
Yeah.
But we'll most likely have it out by Saturday night.
We'll try our best to get it out as fast as we can, yeah.
And then for like the bigger, I guess like with the bigger episodes, like if something big happens in the episode, we'll try and have that out faster for you guys.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's really it, I guess.
That's it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel for more, follow us on Instagram, link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and we hope to see you next time. See ya.